It isn't often that you read about an English legend and think to yourself that you've never heard of him before. However, there is one man who has written history books at clubs like Ajax and Barcelona, yet is next to unknown around England. Victor Frederick Buckingham is one of Johan Cruyff's many influencers. Vic Buckingham's player career was nothing beyond ordinary, having never played top-flight football in his life. He played at Northfleet United for the 1934-35 season and broke into Tottenham Hotspur's first team next season. He played most of his career as a centre-back and some part of it as the left half-back of old. He witnessed Arthur Rowe's Spurs side win the Division 2 and 1 titles, but not only that, he saw them do it with a different brand of football, known back then as the pass and move. Buckingham made a coaching journey that even today would be called unorthodox. He coached West Bromwich Albion, one of England's top clubs back then, leading them to the FA Cup in his first full season at the club, and went very close to winning the league title but finished second in the end to Wolves. Despite doing well at West Brom, he surprisingly left for Ajax in 1959. He preached a possession-based, short-passing style of attacking football. He was the innovator of the famous quote, "If you have the ball, the opposition cannot score," used by a certain Pep Guardiola in multiple interviews. This came as a surprise because of how he was brought up as a player. This style of his was the polar opposite of English football and culture back in the 50s. In his tenure of 2 years, he won the Eredivisie and the Dutch Cup. He insisted on believing that his role was minimal in his Ajax team, but his team believed otherwise. His first Ajax term was followed by a stint at Sheffield Wednesday, but a betting scandal involving his players made Sheffield make the decision of not renewing Vic. In 1964, Vic Buckingham went back to Ajax, but took over an aging team undergoing a decline. That led him to giving opportunities to young lads from Ajax, one of whom was none other than Johan Cruyff. Ajax and Buckingham mutually agreed that it was best for Vic to leave Ajax for Fulham. He was succeeded by another one of the innovators in Rinus Michels. At Fulham, however, several factors like financial constraints and the club's adamancy stood in Vic's way. Buckingham wanted Fulham to adapt Ajax's way of nurturing players and transforming the face of the club on a long-term basis. Fulham decided to sack Vic in 1968, only for him to make another unexpected leap to the Greek league.
But it was Barcelona who made the more surprising leap. Buckingham was Barca's third manager of that season, with the team battling relegation. He managed to take them to fourth by the end of the season. They were knocked out of the cup thanks to a dubious penalty call. However, the following season, Barca saw Vic Buckingham in full force. He took a relegation-threatened side to winning the league title after being level on points with Valencia. The highlight of that season, however, was Buckingham's men winning the Copa del Rey and a certainly unhappy General Franco handing it to them. He had to step down from the job due to medical reasons, yet again to be succeeded by Rinus Michels. Vic Buckingham was the one who negotiated with the Spanish authorities to reconsider their stance on not allowing the transfers of foreign players. Essentially, it was Vic who facilitated Johan Cruyff's transfer to Barca, which to date remains one of the most influential moments in the history of football. Victor Buckingham is one such person who was celebrated in both the Netherlands and Spain, yet comparatively unheard of in England. Had it not been for Buckingham, the football world might have never known the greatness of Johan Cruyff. Vic Buckingham's role in the course of football history has been nothing short of crucial, yet he remains one of the most forgotten men who changed football.